Good morning, dear students. I welcome you all to the third semester in Electrical and Electronics Engineering branch. In this semester, for your class, I will handle the subject electric power generation, transmission and distribution. The subject code is 18U EEC 304. This subject has weightage of 4 credits and the syllabus of this subject is to be completed in 52 hours. In this subject, the students are expected to learn different energy sources for generation of electric power, the concept of load curve, plant capacity factor, etc. Further, they learn about the different supports of overhead transmission line, corona effect, insulators of OH lines, and line parameters and performance of OH lines. And also, the students are expected to learn the importance of underground cables in distribution systems, the distribution system types, and calculation of electrical quantities for concentrated loads. The reference books are: first one, Soni, Gupta and Bhatnagar. The title of the book is A Course of Electrical Power, 4th edition. Publisher is Dhanapat Rai and Sons. Year of publication is 1981. Second book is by C.L. Wadhwa, Electrical Power Systems is the title. Second edition. Willey Stern is the publisher. Publication of this book was made in 1991. Third book is by S.M. Singh, Electric Power Generation, Transmission and Distribution. First edition. Publisher is PHI. Fourth book is J.B. Gupta. Title of the book is A Course in Electrical Power. 12th edition. Publisher is S.K. Kataria. It was first published in 2002. Fifth book is by H. Partab. Title of the book is Utilization of Electrical Power. I will not be reading entire syllabus here, but I will only tell you the contents of first unit. In first unit, first chapter is generation. Here you will be studying sources of conventional energy, selection of site, classification of hydroelectric, thermal, nuclear power plants, and the components of these power plants, working of these power plants, and the comparative study. In the second chapter, we will be learning factors influencing cost of energy, which is very important topic. In this chapter, you will be studying demand factor, diversity factor, load factor, plant capacity factor, plant use factor, loss factor, energy load curve, load duration curve, and introduction to load forecasting. The first unit is for 10 hours. Today, without wasting our time, we will start with first chapter, that is generation. Generation here means generation of electric energy. We know that energy is needed for doing the work. That is, energy is defined as capacity to do the work. We obtain energy from various sources. In this chapter, we learn how is electric energy generated from non-conventional sources of energy and conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy are the energy sources which are continuously replenished by natural processes. These cannot be exhausted easily. Non-conventional sources of energy are the energy sources which are continuously replenished by natural processes. These cannot be exhausted easily, can be generated constantly so that they can be used again and again. Examples are solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biomass energy, and geothermal energy. The energy obtained from non-conventional sources is known as non-conventional energy. These sources do not pollute the environment and do not require heavy expenditure. They are called renewable resources as they can be replenished through natural processes. At a rate equal to or greater than the rate at which they are consumed. So these are renewable energy sources such as wind energy, solar energy, biomass energy, and geothermal energy. Non-conventional sources produce very less pollution. Next we will see what are conventional sources of energy. These are those energy sources which are present in a limited quantity. In nature. These are non-renewable. Sources, as once they are depleted, they cannot be generated at the speed which can sustain its consumption rate. They are formed from decaying matter over hundreds of millions of years. One thing we have to remember about these energy sources is that they are highly pollutant. So we'll write here these sources cause huge pollution. Now we will study the selection of sites for various power plants. Here first we will take up Selection of site for hydroelectric power plants. Selection of hydroelectric plants location depends on several factors, namely the availability of water, because to generate power sufficient water must be there, and there must be sufficient space to store the water. If sufficient water is there and sufficient space is there, that is not enough. There should be a good height from where the water falls and the turbine is made to rotate. The turbine connected to generator makes the generator to operate and generate electric energy. The height from where the water falls down onto the turbine is called head of water. So while selecting the site for hydroelectric power plant, we have to look for good head of water also. The site selected should be as far as possible nearer to the load centers, that is, the places where electric energy is consumed. If distance becomes more, in transmitting the energy, lot of losses will occur and the power will be lost and the energy will be lost. That means the efficiency of power transmission will come down. The site selected should be easily accessible, that is, for construction purpose, heavy vehicles will have to go to the site and carry out the excavation work, construction work, transportation work, erection work, etc. If site is not accessible, if it is in hilly place where it is very much difficult to go, then lot of money will have to be spent in making the new roads, which will become a costly affair. Therefore, if site is easily accessible, it is well and good. Last point, but very much important point, is that when deciding the site, social factors are to be considered, such as reservoir area should have less impact on the relocation of the human beings from that area. The fertile land can be submerged into river. Also, the construction of dams may affect several other impacts on the ecology. The reservoir should not be in seismic zone, otherwise any happening may create the flooding of several area, damage of dam, equipments, etc. So just I will give the notes for this. You can go on writing. Availability of water. Water energy can be available in the form of either potential energy or kinetic energy. You all know that potential energy means the energy available in the body at rest. Kinetic energy means the energy available with the moving body. To extract the potential energy a reservoir or pondage is required. Whereas to extract the kinetic energy runoff river project is used. In all the cases, a huge amount of water is required. Normally, water is collected in reservoirs during the rain and used for the electricity production.